Hello, friends, and welcome back. I have got some things to catch up on. It's been a while, I know. It's been a busy month, as I'm sure it's been for most of you.
No rest for the weary.
But I have got a card I want to talk about that is the first one in pre-war where I targeted an exact specific card, and I'll explain why.
Because it's awesome.
I've also got some mail to show you, as well as some cards to give away from my VR giveaway contest.
But I want that prize. What prize?
So stick around.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Hello, friends. I am John, and I am the 3D 80s kid. First up, we've got some mail, and I was one of the many lucky recipients of the Reindeer Studios Christmas card. Awesome, with the Wheaties style design on the front.
You could have your picture on a Wheaties box.
And then the awesome doodle of himself by Scott there. And my personalized message from Scott. Hey, John, may your stocking be filled with SGC slabs and your videos be filled with obscure pop culture clips.
Sure thing.
Merry Christmas, my friend, your bestie Scott. I will try to do my best, Scott, on getting those obscure culture clips in there for you and others to enjoy.
I think you're doing just fine.
You do?
I see.
So thanks for this, and included in there as well, I got the Roger Maris card there, as well as the Natural. What talented artist there. Love this, Scott, so thank you very much, and I hope you had a great Christmas as well.
Wow, thank you, Scott.
So in my last video, where I did the countdown of my top 25 cards, regular viewers of the channel might have noticed that there was one in the mix there that had never been shown on my channel to that point.
Did you notice?
And that would be a 34 Goudey card. So I have already had for a while this Lefty Grove card, which is one of the Lou Gehrig Says versions. And to complete the aesthetic of my wall with one card of every Hall of Famer, I am trying to also mix it up with now as many different sets as I can. And I've come to the conclusion that ultimately this is going to lead me to breaking up some of the 60 tops, 72 tops, and 53 Bowman to branch out with other cards of some of these other folks. More opportunistic fashion to try to get as many different sets on the wall as well as having all the players. So
I do like to tinker with things.
you will be seeing a migration and changes slowly of some of these cards up here to different years and sets for some of these players. But this type of concept also led me to want to target a particular pre-war card. And that is the fact that in the 1934 Goudey set, most of the cards you see have that Lou Gehrig Says, but there is a select number that were actually printed with Chuck Klein, who was a multi-time All-Star at the time, was a fairly high-profile player, but not quite of the magnitude of like Ruth and Gehrig that were, Ruth being featured prominently in the 33 set, and then Gehrig being the star of 34, but it turns out that Chuck Klein and Lou Gehrig had the same agent, and so he was able to work his other client into this set. It appears there was actually more cards planned than they produced that were going to be Chuck Klein, but then for whatever reason in 1934, they only made, I believe it's a dozen cards that have Chuck Klein on it. They were printed far less than the Lou Gehrig Says versions. And as it turns out, in my approach here to collecting every Hall of Famer, there's only one Hall of Famer in this group of cards. And to get the representative of both sides of the 34 Goudey design, that made me want to target this one card, and that was of Hazen Kai Kyler, with having this green background, and then the red Chuck Klein Says almost gives you a little Christmassy effect there.
That's festive.
But for this card, as it turns out, I broke my fast in terms of buying Hall of Fame cards, in my mission for the Babe Ruth card, and ended up buying this card because it came up. I picked this card out because I wanted that Chuck Klein says to be represented on the wall. And so I had the eBay search going for this for a long time and was waiting for one that was going to be a bargain for me, which, I was kind of, on the targeting of a 2 or less grade, of which there are only 29 of those that are already slabbed in SGC in existence. And so when one popped up recently, then I felt I had to pounce because there is a limited supply. It's in the price range that is best for me. And so I went for it, and I did win this auction at $120. So that is why I broke my fast with the Babe Ruth mission and took a little bit of money out of that savings that I'm building. And I landed this card. And that is the first time I have targeted a very specific pre-war card, as everything else you see up here has just been kind of opportunistic. Because my whole approach to it is I want a card that looks cool, and if one pops up that's going to be a bargain and it looks cool, then I will add it to the collection as I fill in all these Hall of Fame players. So
Yes, whatever works for you.
Next, we've got to do a giveaway, and with that, I am going to switch to the computer view as we're going to go with the wheel of names. So let's get that going. All right, here we go. Now our camera angle looks a little bit different, but pretty close. And we are ready to go with the prize wheel. But let's first take a look at the prizes we are giving away. Here they are over here. The first one's going to be this 1972 Topps Ted Williams as a manager there in an SGC 5.5. The next one will be a 1960 Topps Hall of Famer Red Shane Dienst in an SGC 3.5. Then we've got Richie Ashburn in an SGC 6. Then a couple of ungraded cards with 1957 Topps Roy Campanella. And into pre-war with a 1929 Cash-In Publications Freddie Lindstrom. So let's take a look at the wheel we've got here. And we had actually 39 VRs. Thank you to everyone who put out a VR. We also had 3 commenters that got added to the wheel. I was surprised there wasn't more, with it being so easy to get a prize win out of that. But just a quick run through. Thanks everyone. We got 3 Good Nerds, 4 Soft Corners, A Collector's Dream, Automatic for the Collector, Boston Fan, Chris from Missouri, Clean Cheap Shots, Clemente Collector, Commenting Collector, Concrete Buddy, Decon's Cardboard, Don's Field of Dreams, Eddie's Cardboard, Chaos, God is Great, Hodges 1455, Iconic Baseball, a commenter, JL6198, Lou Rock TV, Mac Wax Stacks, Mookie Chilson, Old Sarge Collects, Peeps, Pepino Man, Peter B, Poor Man Stack, Reindeer Studios, Return to Collecting, Rocket Rick J18, SFI Sports Cards, another commenter, Shaw Racing Collects, hope you get better soon, Signs of the Pastime, Staven Sports Cards, The Card Story, The Autograph Fisherman, The Detroit Collector, The Drew, A Vintage Legacy, Three Rivers Card Collector, Video Guy 316, Vintage on Vintage, Vintage Sanctuary, Wade Boggs Fan, and hopefully joining the YouTube community soon, but a commenter for now, Warren D73. So thanks everybody for participating. Let's give the wheel the 3 shuffles for the 3D80s kid. 1, 2, 3. And we will maximize that out now. And let's give it a spin and see who will win the Ted Williams 1972 card. All right, who will it be? Vintage on Vintage. Congratulations, Steve. You'll be getting that one sent your way. I don't believe I have your address. My email address is on the About tab of my channel, so please send that my way. Up next, we will spin again for the 1960 Topps Red Shane Dienst. Let's go for it. And there we go, Three Rivers Card Collector. I also need your address. Please send that to me. Thank you. All right, up next for the 1960 Topps Richie Ashburn. Let's go for it. card. SFI Sports Cards. There we go. 1960 Topps Richie Ashburn. Now we are on to 1957 Topps Roy Campanella. And here we go. Oh, Reindeer Studios. It is not a Cleveland Indian card, but it's still headed your way. Congratulations, Scott. All right, lastly, with our pre-war Hall of Famer, Freddie Lindstrom, cash-in publications card. Here we go. Look at that, Pepino Man. All right, this one will be coming your way next. All right. So that is our giveaway. And let me just say thank you to, once again, to everybody who participated. Thanks, Scott, for sending around those awesome Christmas cards. And thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Have a happy new year. I guess I will see you next year. So, bye, everybody.
That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right.
Attaboy, Clarence.